Oh, yes, that's good. We started with the where clause last week, and we gave instances of when we use the where clause. Now, we said there are 5 main instances where we use the where clause. And that is where we do a comparison, where we have a comparison condition, range condition, set membership, pattern match, or the null. Right. So let's start with the first one, the comparison condition. Oh, no, sorry, the comparison. How many mathematicians are in this class? Any mathematicians? One minute. Yeah, any mathematicians in the class? Okay, nobody. Who knows about the comparison operators? You have met them, if I right from the time you were in primary 1.
Greater than, less than, greater or equal.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's all I'm looking for. So there are 6 main comparison operators, and we shall look at them. So we have the first one, equal to. The next one is, maybe you met this one. The first one you met when you were in primary school. The next one would be, what would we call this one?
Less than.
Less than. Less than. And the next one, which you also used when you were in secondary school, will be greater than. Then we have what is this one?
Less than or equal to.
Less than or equal to. It's a combination of the first two. In much the same way, we have the next one, which is greater than or equal to. Then we have this one. Who knows what this one is?
Not equal to.
Beautiful, not equal to. And a subset of that. Who knows what this one is? It is also not equal to. In those days where we used to write these things by hand, the not equal to was the equal sign, and then you put the backslash to cross the equal sign. But given it's now mostly typed, so this is the convention that has been used to represent that. Right. So let us see how we can make use of that. So if, for example, I say, let's see, let's just take 4.1.1. If for example, we want to look at, let me change the source of data now. Or should we, let's see what is here first. Let me see what is under. Let me see if I can use something that you have. Okay, let me just stick to that one. So if, for example, pay, where is pay? Okay, pay is under that. If for example, I want to find those who earn a certain amount of money. For example, I want to earn all those who earn 50,000. All those who earn 50,000. Select all. Where are we selecting it from? You know, that's, we say we should select all who earn. So if we are looking at people who earn, which table would that be from? It should be from an earnings table, right? So that will be from this table here. So select from. Guys, I'm in a class, please. So for example, we say select all from pay elements where pay value
Hello?
is equal to, say,
Oh, sorry, the last bit. Yeah, like that.
50,000.
Hello? Yeah, it's Jetty Dyer or 70. I'm just giving you guys a call because I lost my phone last night.
So if we execute this one, what do we get? Now that simply means that there is nobody in the table who earns 50,000. Let's see if there is at all. Let me take this condition out and see if there is anyone who earns 50,000. Is there anyone who earns 50,000? Okay, so there is no one who earns 50,000, and that is why that didn't return any results.
Jedediah of Sabbath.
So it didn't return any result for the simple reason that there's no one in the table who earns that
Okay.
amount of money. Right?
First,
Now,
the what?
let's say we take
Zero,
this. Let's use another
9, 6.
comparison operator to see
I'm
what we
also
can
looking
have.
here. So the person has managed to request like login changes. So I'm looking at my email here. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just told you. I just told you 0, 9, and 6.
Hold on, guys. Let me excuse me, guys. Let me just go somewhere quiet. Yeah, give me 1 minute.
That's wrong, I'm telling you. I'm looking at my email here. The person has literally managed to change my. I don't know how they've done this. So can I use online banking? There's an email here today.
Right. So let's see if we can. Can you hear me from here? Paradise, can you hear me?
Very
Yes, we
well.
can.
Right. Okay. So let's see where pay value, for example, is greater than. Let's use greater than 50,000. Let's see who and who would come up. So this person earns 55,000, right? And which is why we have that. So if we were, for example, to make this, let's say, if we were to make this, let's say 25,000. Right, so all these people earn over 25,000. Right, all these earn over 25,000. Okay, so let's flip it now and see. What if we say people who earn less than 30,000? So all these here earn less than 30,000, and then you would see that it even includes those on hourly pay, but because we haven't restricted these roles, they will still show. And we can use the where clause also to restrict these roles such that these hourly paid workers would not show, right? So all these ones, 28,850. 29,500. 29,500. Yep. So that's what we have. Now we can use a compound comparison. So this is just single comparisons. Instead of just going single, we can do compound. So that is where we use two or more conditions to search. right? We use two or more conditions. So for example, we can say that select all from pay elements where pay value is less than 30,000 or the end date is not null. So it's still pay elements we're using. Where pay value is less than 30,000 or where the end date is not null. Let's see if that would work. Let's see if this would give us anything. So here you see that we've used two conditions, less than, and then we've also used the not null condition. Yep, so it's given us that where the pay value is less than 30,000 or end date is not null. So you would see that where we use the or, okay, let's instead of or, let's use and see what we get. And then we can discuss both. Well, obviously, this doesn't give us any results. And why is that? Let's see. So this one here gives us everything that is either 30,000. So it's a mix of both. This or that. Either one would work. But for the second one, where we use the and, both conditions have to be true for the query to return a result. And there is no instance in the table where both conditions are true. So it is 30, pay value is 30,000, is less than 30,000. And at the same time, end date is null or both. That is the only time where this would work. Now, in the first instance, either one would work. Either pay value is 30,000, that would work, or pay value or end date is not null. Okay, that would also work. Any questions so far? Let's see if we say end date is equal to null. Let's see what that will return, whether it will give us anything at all. This has also given us a result. Both would work. Okay, so let's see if we can take another condition. Let's say job ID is greater or is equal to 6. Any questions so far? Okay, let's continue. Let's see if this is greater than 6. So it doesn't really matter how you frame these. You can mix and match the conditions so long as your query is right, and so long as there exists in the table a condition where if there exists in the table the instance where the condition is true, then there will be a result returned. Right, so let's now look at the range condition. Range condition. Now, this is where we use the words between, a range. So a range is where something is in between certain parameters, right? So the words used for this is between or not between. Between or not between. So again, if we where pay value between 30,000 and 60,000. Right? So this is what we have. Pay value between. So you see that everything here will be between. All the results returned will be between 30 and 60. There will be none that will be below 30 and none above 60. It has to be, all the results would have to be within the specified range here. Right? In much the same way, we can say not between. not between. So it returns everything that is not between 30 and 60,000. So you see, it starts from 29,500 and returns all the hourly ones, including anything that is less than 30,000. Right? Let me even increase this a bit. Let me increase this, the first value, a bit so that we have a lot more results. Yeah. So this one is between, okay? Between 40 and 30. Oh, sorry, between 40 and 60. So there is nothing here that is not between these values, right? And if so, we can also have not between that, and then you would see just like the one before. And it churns out everything that is not between 40 and 60. Any questions so far? So why am I doing things that look similar multiple times? It's just to demonstrate that with SQL, once you have a hang of writing a particular query, any other one follows. You see that I've just been copying and pasting and making slight changes. Copy. So once you have a hang of writing a particular query, it becomes quite easy to write all other similar queries. Now let's look at set membership. What was the description we gave to set membership the last time? Yeah, what was the description we gave to a set membership? A membership. So what meaning does that connote? So it gives us it sort of portrays the idea of something being in or not in something. It's either one is in or one is not in. So coming back home, like to where we are now, we are all in a data class, right? So we belong to the set of data analyst students. So if we were to put the various disciplines in Blue Sky Citadel into memberships, we have QAs, we have Scrum Masters, we have business analysts, we have data analysts. So you can be in a particular group and not be in others, or be in others and not be in another one. So that is the idea here. That is the idea here. What table can we use to easily let me do something quickly. Let me try something quickly to see if it would suit this purpose. So before we look at this, let me just see that. Select all. From we can actually use this, but right, let me go back. Let me go back to the table that let me go back here and see. Okay, so in this table, for example, we have employees who are married, some are separated, some are divorced, some are cohabiting, some are single. Yes, so we can use this easily. We can use this easily. So if, for example, we were to say that we put a where condition there, marital status in may try this to see if it would work.
Repayment date, you rush to make your repayment.
Right. So let's run this query and see. So this one has given us all those who are married. So they belong to the set of people who are married. Again, we can use the compound condition.
Excuse me, I have a
You
question.
guys are disturbing me actually.
My phone in it, so. What is this number? What's this number? Mom's number? What is it? Read it.
Give me 1 moment, yeah. I have an issue going on at home, so my boys are a bit. Give me 1 moment. Let me attend to them. Right. Let's see. Like I said, I have some disruptions at home, so
Excuse me, if we use equal to sign in place of that in, will it still
Pardon?
work? If we use equal to instead of in, will it still work?
Try it and see. Let's try it. Good plan. Let's see. But you see, we are looking at. Let's see if it would work. Have you tried it?
Mm, no, yeah.
Okay,
I don't,
let's try it.
I don't have this in the time.
Let's try it. Let's try it. It's worked.
Okay.
It's worked.
Okay, so is there any, does that mean that can be used interchangeably, or are there
I
times?
wouldn't advise you to, when you are doing a set membership, it's best to stick to the in and not in. It's best to stick to that. I really wouldn't advise you to do that. Right. So let's see. Let's put a compound condition in now. Or let's do the not in first. Let's do the not in. No, that obviously that will return everything. So let's see, to return everything that is not married. So let's do a compound condition. So where we have being married and at the same time cohabiting. And you see that whenever we take anything from that is described within the table, we put it in quotation marks, right? And remember, I mentioned the case of literals, I think on the very first or second day. So these things have to be spelled exactly the same way as they are represented in the table. Failure to do so would result in an error or the or no result being produced, right? Because if there is a spelling error, the system doesn't recognize what the query is pointing to. So married, cohabiting, married, cohabiting. Let me try the equal to here and see. Actually, I haven't tried that. So it's interesting. I'm surprised it worked actually. I'll find out why it worked. Ah. So do you see? The system straight away is confused, right? It's confused. So where there is only one item in the as a comparison, as a condition, it would work. But where you start having compound conditions, it gets confused and it doesn't respond. That is why you shouldn't, if you can, don't use it. Right. Now let's look at 4.4. Pattern search. Pattern search condition. So the words used for pattern search condition are like and not like. Like and not like. Now, there are various instances of this pattern search condition. I think there are about 5 of them or so. So we will look at them one by one. We have the instance of the wildcard. Now, what is the wildcard? The wildcard is this, a percentage sign, and then the underscore. So Let's see, let's see, let's see. How does that work? And where exactly would we be using this? We said a pattern, right? So what kind of pattern? And this is something that is actually used quite a lot by, could be used by, it could literally be used by anybody, but most importantly, it's used by security agents. So if you have something like, if for example, they're looking for somebody, and then also you're looking for something, or you're looking for a place, and you don't know exactly what that thing is, but you have an idea. You have a pattern in your head of how it looks like. So the best thing that could be used in describing that is the case of, let's say, addresses. You have an idea of what address, so the words in the address. For example, you know that somebody lives in let's say Manchester Street or Papa Jao Mushi, or you know somebody lives. Give me a name. Give me a place. Right? Now you can use this. You can use this thing here in a query to run a query that would produce all the names that contain what you have specified in the query. Right? So the first one we will look at is addresses like. It doesn't work just for addresses, but that's what I'm using. That's the first instance. And what does that mean? So what have I written here? I've written H percentage, right? H percentage. The next one, this one says percentage H or percentage M or percentage Q or Z or L, right? We would explain all of these. Now we have this other one. Are we all living in the UK? So now I have a word, Manchester. Beginning and end, we have the percentage sign. What does it mean? Right. So all of these are one instance of the not like here, okay? We would explain all of these. Now let's look at the underscore. Remember we mentioned the underscore also here. That's why I said we should look at it. Where is it? Yeah, percentage and underscore. So these are the two instances of the wildcard. For clarity, I have left space in between, but I really don't need to leave space. So this would have just been like that. So that's a double, but so as to make it clear, I have left space in between. So the first instance of that is where we have let's say we have this. Oops. One moment. My battery is running low. Are you still on the call?
Actual code.
You want to use the earpiece? I'm in a class, so I can give you earpiece.
No, because let me just. Oh no,
Right, so if we have this,
it's so long to get rid of these people.
right, so how can we explain these? Let's go back and start explaining these one by one. So for example, if we have this, the first instance here, addresses like this. Now this means that the very first letter in the whole search must necessarily be an H. The rest can be anything. Now, this also means that the first part can be anything. The last letter must be an L.
working from snatched up as well. Just back to work.
And now this here means the address you are looking for must necessarily contain this word here. So this address must contain this word. And as you can tell, this means the address must not contain. In much the same way, this search must not contain the first character not like the first character cannot be an H. Now, who can tell us what this would be? Now, this means that the address must start with an H and must have how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4. There must be 4 other characters. Mind you, I've left spaces here. I'm not counting those spaces. And I've left them just for clarity's sake. Right? So it's just to make the whole thing clear. But ordinarily, it would have been like that. And you see, when it's like that, you really don't see what is happening, do you? Which is why I've left space. So here, this means that the search starts with H and made up of 5 characters. In much the same way, the search is made up of how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. And ends with a P. Okay.
Well, the line is even up.
Any questions so far? Any questions?
Not yet.
Any questions so far?
Not from me.
Paradise.
No, not from me.
Are we making sense at all?
Yes.
Am I making
Sure.
sense?
Sure.
Okay.
My only concern is this data, do we have it?
No, at this point, I'm not even using data.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at both sides of the screen and trying to see if we have this kind
You
of.
have one. You have the AdventureWorks. We will start
Yes.
using the AdventureWorks, I think, from next week.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the AdventureWorks. We'll start using that one.
Yeah, I know we have the adventure one.
Like I said in the beginning, AdventureWorks is quite a clean form of data. So, for the purpose of SQL studies, whilst it is very good for your Power BI or Tableau or Excel, but for the purpose of studying SQL, I would mix it up with other things so that we get the full benefit of the study.
All
If that
right.
makes sense, yeah?
Makes sense. Thank
Because
you.
soon you would see that there are certain things that have been intentionally introduced so that the study becomes meaningful. There are certain things that have intentionally been introduced into this database here to make the study meaningful. But this is specifically made for your data cleansing and data visualization. Right, so let's see if we can do something. Let's see if there's a table. Actually, I think now I can actually run a query. Let's see, I can run a query on AdventureWorks. Let's see if we can run a query on AdventureWorks. Let me see what is under that. Let me use geography again, since I want address. Okay, I've not changed the source. Let me see what we can get from here. Okay, let's use this column. Let's use this field, right? The field is called what? English county region name, Remember, I said if you want to run a query, you need to know the field that you are choosing, that you are selecting your information from. So let's say we have this, where the field is called English County Region Name. Where English County Region Name, like Canada. Let's see, Canada. Like Canada.
The first one is from my account to my second account.
Let's see. Do we have Canada in there too?
I think we have Spain or something.
We have Canada. Okay. So this produces only those ones with Canada. It has selected only these ones. And this is where the query is focused on, English County Region Name. But it does happen incidentally that a Spanish name, French name are all also called Canada. But the query is not on any of these. The query is specifically on this one, right? I could also use, I could change this to state province name and then get a name under anything that is there. And that should also work well. So like I said, if for example, security people are looking for somebody, but they just have an idea of where the person lives, or you are looking for somebody, you just have an idea of where the person lives, and you have a database that has got all addresses. It's impossible for anyone to have that except a few people, which is why I used security. So if, for example, you run a query and say, produce addresses that contain this specific name, all the addresses that contain that particular name would now come out, and then you can start filtering. It reduces the amount of work that you have to do. Assuming you have to run a query on the whole of the UK. Assuming you're looking for somebody in the whole of the UK, right? You can't just go through all the addresses in the UK one by one. But if you have a means of narrowing down your search and reducing the amount of work, which this wildcards can do, it makes the work a whole lot easier. Are we making sense here? So if, for example, we say, let's run another one. Somebody to give us a query, let's run. Can somebody give us another query? Let's change the source. Let's change the table. Or not the table, the field. Let's change the field. Let's say state province name. State province name. And that produces all these ones here. You have the state province name, all showing those ones with Quebec. In much the same way, we can use the not like, right? To show those ones, to bring out those ones that do not contain Quebec or that do not contain Canada. One, two, three, four, five, six. So if, for example, we say, we can also write this like that, like this one here, using the underscore. Quebec has how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, this would just return the same thing. So let's do something else first. Let's do something else first before we run that query, okay? So that it becomes clearer. Let's run this one first. And now let's run that one. Let's see if it would work. Yep, it's worked. It's given us all those ones that start with Q. And how many characters? 6 characters. Here, the underscore here is 6 characters, is 5 plus the Q, making 6 characters. Okay. And then the final where condition.
Is there a reason why it's just the quotation mark around the Q and 5 spaces and not the percentage mark?
Oh, no, so the percentage is a form of wildcard. The underscore is another form of wildcard.
Okay.
So we've shown examples of 2 wildcards, the percentage and then the underscore. And we've shown how they can both be used. And you see that there is also a quotation around this one. Do you get that? Just as there
Yes.
is a quotation around that. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. And this also, it's either null or not null. Null or not null. Let's see how we can use this also. Now we said null is not 0 or we said null is where we don't know the value of what is within the space, right? Where we don't know the value is unknown. That's where we use null. So let's run a simple query. Let's run a simple query and see how that is gonna work. And this would make clear the null condition. I remember the people were asking questions. People were saying null means if it's empty or did they? No, I don't even think 0 came into play. But they said if it's an empty set. Let's see whether that would work if it is empty. Use this one, select. I'm going to run a simple query now. This is a query you know already. Select person ID. Start date. Start date. Pay type. Let me select that from pay elements. Select from pay elements. Where end date. Is null. It's null by somebody's definition. This is space, right? Space. Let's see if this would work. So this is an empty space, right? Let's see if it would work, okay? Immediately we see that it doesn't work. Okay, not a problem. Let's try something else. So this was somebody's definition of null, right? In the same way, if we do this, it might also not. Let me see. See. Okay, this also doesn't work. Remember the instance where somebody said, can we use the equal sign up there, somewhere up here? I remember. Where it worked for one, but where we did a compound comparison, it didn't work. So I'm just showing you instances of what would happen if we don't follow what we should follow. Let's now say is null. So this one can also be read as is equal to null, right? Actually, let me remove this and see if that would work. Let me remove that and see if it would work. Okay, it didn't work. So it didn't work. But let's see if this one will work. Has it worked? Yes, it has. Now, let's now see, and it is not null. What is the condition? Is null? Not null. Should the is come? Is not null. And that one has also worked. So is null and is not null need to be where your query, where your field is, you're running the field, the query on fields based on the null, fields that contain the null word. You must specify that it is either null or it is not null. You cannot do this. Neither can you do that. You can't do this. These will not work. These will not work, right? Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
None from my end.
Okay, good. Who are those on the call today? Let me see if I can see people on the call. Babajide. Babajide, any questions?
No question.
Olabode.
I'm good, sir. I'm good. No
Okay.
question.
And then Olabanji Aduroja. Okay, let's see. So now we have brought an end to the where clause. We finish with the where clause. These are the various instances of the where clause. All right. I said if there is time today, we would do ordering. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Ordering. So that brings us another clause. The order by clause. Order by. Order by. Remember the format of the SQL state of the select statement. Select from where, order by. So we see that we're taking them off one by one. Select from, which are the two main ones which should always come, where, and then order by. So order by is simply used for sorting, either in ascending or descending order on a particular field. So on a particular column, you sort on a column, right? Or field or attribute. So these are called columns, fields, or attributes, right? So let's assume that we have this. Let's just go back to, okay, we are already in that database. Let's assume we select all employees. Select all. From employees. Select all from employees. Let's see what comes up. Okay, this is what we have. If you look carefully, there is already a sorting that is done on one of these fields. No, not even one. Yeah, on one of the fields. Am I right? No sorting has been done here, actually. No sorting has been done. No sorting. Let me see. Let me see. No sorting has been done. Okay, so we selected everything. So everything is just random, right? We can decide to choose a field to sort on. We can decide, for example, we have the above dates. We can decide to sort such that the older ones come first or the younger ones come first. It doesn't matter. Or we can decide to sort on surname, right? So if we just write this, see what is going to happen. See what is going to happen, okay? What has happened? Let me run it again. Let me do this one again. Don't be don't be confused. Focus on surname. Don't be confused with this being A, B, C. You see G, you see B, you see G, B, 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 N, P, H. So you see that there is no order here. There is no order. Right? You see A all the way down here. You are seeing A, you are seeing B. There is no order. So don't get confused by the seemingly by the first three that seem to be in order. Right? Don't get confused by those three. If you run this one, however, let's see if we would have an order. We have A, all the way down. And even the A's are ordered. ABBO, ABBOT, ABB, ABOM, AD. Even that is ordered, right? So there is order within the order. All the way down. All the A's come before the B's, the C's, D's, E's, like that, up till the very last one, Y. Right. So you would see that it's automatically ordered this one. In which order is it? Which order is this? How will you describe this order? There can only be two. How will you describe this order? It's either ascending or descending. From small to big, what is it?
Descending
This
order.
is ascending, right? So the default position is if you do not specify a particular order, you have run an order query, but you do not specify whether it should order in ascending or descending. The default position is that it would order in ascending. The order will be ascending. That is the default position, okay? So even if we were to, for example, put this here, order by surname ascending, that's what this means. There will be absolutely no change to this output. There will be no change to this output. It will be the exact same thing. There will be no change to it. Right? It will be the exact same thing. Let me just do that here. However, if you want to specify a different ordering, you can then say that this should be ordered descending. And let's see what happens. If you want it to be ordered in a descending manner, you have to specify. If you want to order by ascending, in ascending order, you don't have to specify. So let's see, you see that the Y comes first, W, then we go to V, U, T, and the final one should be an A, which is here. Is that okay? Any questions? Let me see if I can. Who wants to share screen? I want to give you a question. Who is happy to share screen? If nobody's happy, I'll just select somebody. Okay, let me use the database that you have, and let's see if we can run a query on that. Select from. Okay, let's do dim employees. Let's see what is here. Dim employees. Okay, this is a capital E. Dim employee. I'm going to call somebody now to share screen and run a query. I hope the person would be happy to do that. Let me see if I can get somebody to call. Oyindamola, can we ask you to share screen, please? Do you have the database and do you have SQL Server?
I do. I was already praying silently that you don't call me because
Oh,
my
you see, when
system,
you pray such prayers, when you pray
my
such
system where I
prayers,
have my all the SQL and everything broke this afternoon. So I'm actually using another system today.
what system are you using?
I'm using my son's laptop, but my own laptop fell and broke this
Oh,
afternoon.
I see.
So
Well,
yes.
Who? Okay, let me call the next person. Olabanji.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
share that. Let me share
Olabanji
my screen.
Aduroja. Today we are going to fight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm not able to run the SQL on my laptop because of the model of the laptop I'm using. I'm using Mac.
All right,
Have
okay. Let me
issue.
call somebody else.
Godwin, let me share my screen.
Who spoke?
Jide, Babajide.
Babaji. Okay, Babajide. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Then I'll tell you the query. I'll tell you what to run. Okay, and share. Let's see. You'll see that it's pretty simple.
I think I already did run some things already.
Are you sharing a window or a screen?
I'm sharing my.
We
Can you
can't
see my
see
screen?
your this thing is very small. Okay. You're already running queries. That's good though. All right. So what the query we want you to run from this table, dim employee, which table is that? Is it dim employee sales? No, just from dim employees, run
Okay.
a query that would order the employee's surname in descending order. Run a query that would produce the employee's surname in descending order.
Can you help me with this?
I'm still in the lecture. Let me finish and I'll help you.
I've reported my biometric is lost.
Okay, let me finish that and I'll help you, okay?
I was in the new one.
I'll finish in the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
What's it that? Just so I don't know, is it a BRP or a BRC?
P.
The BRP one, no?
Order by what? Hello?
Yeah, surname descending.
I don't know how to go about the descending.
Okay, DESC.
Is that all?
That's all. Beautiful.
All
You
right.
see, I intentionally changed the last name to, but I intentionally called the last name surname to see if
Yeah.
we are all on the same page. And he got it. So that's very correct. That's very, very correct. That's well done. Well done. So you see, we are getting it. We are getting it.
Thank you.
It's not difficult, is it? So SQL is actually one of the easiest, one of the easiest programming languages actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of thinking of if we draw this, if we were in a real work situation, I would draw this, use these programs, these different commands to draw this table. Do we now need to copy this table from on display to where we'll have to
To run a report.
yeah, or kind
No,
of
there's a way
do
you
a
will do that.
visualization with it.
There's a way you will do that. If we have time, we will do it. Okay.
All right. Can I stop sharing, please?
Yes, you can stop sharing. That's
Thank you.
very good. Well done. You've done well.
Thank you.
That's all I wanted to see if we are all following. So any other questions? If there is no other question, we would bring this lesson to a close. We have just 6 minutes and I wouldn't start anything new. Yes, somebody wanted to say something.
Yes, it's still Babajide that is talking. All
Okay.
this they won't save, right?
No. They are not so okay, let me when you say they won't save, what do you mean?
All right. I don't know. What I mean is
For example, the query you run, the result that you got, right?
yeah,
No,
all of this.
those are actually not tables. They are virtual, they are temporary views that you get. So if you want them, you have to export them to get them in the form that's
okay.
yeah.
I can now use somewhere
Yeah,
else
yeah.
or something. All right. Thank you.
So mind you, if they were going to save, you see that they would affect the information in the database. If
Yes,
they are
I was
going to
thinking.
save.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
what I
don't
was
have,
thinking.
Yeah, we don't have the right to change what is in the database.
What's in the database? All right.
You get it? Yeah.
Makes,
So
yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't save. You can only
Alright.
use the queries to run reports, but you cannot change what is in the database.
In the database. Very clear.
At least not with the commands that we know.
That you know.
You
Okay.
know, so that is the responsibility of the data administrator or database
Administrator.
administrator.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Paradise, any question?
No question at this point.
Ada,
Thank you.
Ada, any question? EB, any question?
No questions.
Olabanji. Okay, so let's
No
bring this. Pardon?
No question.
Okay, thank you so very much for coming today. We see you again next week, Friday. Have a very good weekend. And yeah, enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.